and today we got to play Floaty Market, a game of dice fruit. So, before we dive into this fruit market game, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Feels like it's been a while since we've done a few videos. And I'm like, what am I supposed to say next? But I do know now Randy's going to tell us more about the game, or at least I hope so.
So this is kind of a trilogy for us because we did Flotilla, and that one was about floating on water and having a civilization that was built on above the water.
Okay.
And then we did Juicy Fruits, which was all about fruit. So this is the melding of those two as far as theme goes. We have fruit being sold on the water on boats. So the game itself, though, Floating Market was released in 2015. It has a rating of 6.2 on Board Game Geek at the moment. The ranking is 5741 on Board Game Geek as of today. 2 to 5 players. It is averages 30 to 45 minutes, which is probably about what it was for us.
Mm-hmm.
Age 13 up seems awful high. I don't think you really need to be 13 years old to play this game. It doesn't. I think probably 8.
Yeah, there's no words involved at all. I mean, they may not completely understand the mechanics, but I think that honestly that's fine.
Designed by Ben Pinchback and Matt Riddle. Art is J.J. Ariosa and Daryl Louder. Published by Eagle-Gryphon Games. It's a betting and bluffing, dice rolling, worker placement game. It is out of print, but they're selling it on eBay for $46. But if you go on Board Game Geek, there's people selling it there from anywhere from $10 used to $25 new.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about it. So the dice in this game are absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, very pretty.
Yeah,
they're see-through, but they have like little cloudiness inside of them.
It's absolutely awesome. I will say I have a bone to pick with the color choices because you get purple dice, but you don't get to play them. They're the games dice, which made me a little sad. Not gonna lie.
But you get pink, which is pretty too.
I mean, it's acceptable.
They have blue. They have orange, yellow, green.
No, I mean the color choices. I mean, beyond the fact that I can't play purple, is fine. Then you have your actual meeples. You have this first player token that is actually screen printed. Then you have your other meeples that are on the different boats of the different colors. Then your cards. Your cards are actually really nice.
Yeah,
they are heavy on the texture, pretty darn thick. Overall, fantastic with this.
And the cardboard is got a linen finish too.
Yeah. So as far as quality of components, I actually think they did really well for this game. I'm probably going to give this game an 8 on quality of components. What are your thoughts?
I don't think I'm quite there. I think I'm 7 on it. I mean, there's not a lot to the game, but yeah, the dice are really nice.
Well, the dice, the cards. I mean, all the components are actually really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything stunning about it? Well, the dice are pretty cool.
Yeah, the dice, some of them they were just basic.
Well, those were kind of basic. They kind of.
Yeah.
They kind of went lame on the negative dice. We know what it would have been pretty, like a bright, like red and black, you know? I don't know. But they did a really good job with everything else.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I'm probably about a 7 is where I'm at.
Okay. All right. So moving on to actual theme. So we're in a floating market. I'm not sure where this market's located.
I think it's Thailand.
Okay, that makes some sense. And you're going through and you're purchasing fruit. The theme, I think, it's cute. I think the art is actually pretty decent. Nothing stunning, but it's very solid. I mean, a 6. It's kind of light though.
Yeah, it's very light. I mean, you're basically playing roulette in this game, which we'll get into in gameplay. But it's a theme that's layered onto a roulette game. And they put a little story in here about the person's grandmother sending all of her grandchildren out to gather fruit for her to make a fruit salad for the children, and the one that gets all the fruit gets the biggest bowl or something, or gets their salad. So it's kind of cute, and they made the grandmother be the first player token.
Okay, that's cool.
So it's cute, and it mentions the Klong Damon Saduk Canal of Thailand. That's how I knew it was Thai.
Oh, okay. So what were you scored then? Like, I gave it a 6. What would you give it?
I'll probably give it a 6.5 just because they did go into the effort to put a little backstory behind it. It's really layered on.
All right, so moving on to rules. You read them, but it seemed pretty straightforward when you were teaching
It's very simple. The rule book is 8 pages, but that's cover and credits and everything. So if you just count actual text in the book, it's only about 6. And it's got a description for all the buildings at the back, which is really helpful. There's no cheat sheets for this, but it's so simple you really don't need them. Once you read the back section and explain what each of the buildings do, you'll pretty much know it because it does have iconography on the board. You got different action spaces explained here, and where you have to pay and where you don't have to pay, but it's all again represented on the board, so you don't really need the book. It does its job. I'll give it a 7.5. It's a nice job. Got nice picture illustrations on it. The cover. There's pictures all throughout, detailing the examples. So yeah, I think 7.5. I do want to point out, and one thing we didn't talk about quality. Maybe I'll drive my quality up a little bit. Is it has a nice storage system.
Oh, see, I told you it was an 8.
So it's almost a game trays quality. But yeah, it's got different sections in here. Now it doesn't stick firmly on there. I think Eagle has a problem with that, where the lid doesn't stay on. So if you stick it vertical, everything's going to slide. But it's still effective.
Okay.
So I'll go. What did I give them? 7. I give them 7.5. But as far as the rules, I think 7.5 is fair.
Okay, so moving on to actual gameplay. Gameplay is pretty straightforward. You have your 3 different workers that the first player person, ooh, yay! Yeah, so the first player person decides where they're going to go. Now, most people will actually play here on these actual floating boats. Now, in a 3-player game, which is the game that we played, 2 of those are automatically taken up with basically a filler character to kind of make.
And there's a die that's already in the pool for a 3-player game.
So you have a die that's already in the pool. So basically, I'll set my worker down. That first worker that I place, I will need to choose a dice. So actually, let me see. I'll go up here, which is I need a 24 to 28 on the die roll to get a fruit for that thing. So I decided, okay, I'm going to put a D12 up here. And then everyone puts in certain dice. So give me a blue die, babe. Okay,
and
so
each time you put in 1 die with your first worker.
And that's it. That's the only time you add dice.
Well, there's actions that will let you add additional dice.
Only up there in the corner.
Well, no, those do, and then there's also you can play additional dice.
Is this plus 2 die?
Yeah, plus 2 die over there.
Oh, I didn't
you can add plus 4, minus 2 to the die roll. But the goal is that you're basically placing a wager on, in essence, a roulette table. You're saying, I think it's going to come up in this range. There's also, in essence, the even and odd, because just like on a roulette table where you're putting a person on the side and to get a bonus coin if you think they're going to be on the left side of the harbor or the right side of the harbor.
Yeah. So the thing is, so when you roll your dice, though, all right, so depending on what it is, let's say it is 24. So then that means pink would get this particular fruit, which is a mango. But then the 2 people before and after her get 2 coins. Now, when you get 4 coins, you can take an action over here that allows you to buy any fruit of your choice. And so that basically you get half a fruit when you are next to the winning person. So I thought that was an interesting mechanic. So it's not just like one person only grabbing the fruit. But other than that, and then at the end of the round, the person who is the first player does end up getting to switch 2 of these tiles around. And then that way the ranges aren't always in that same fruit type.
Yeah. So your dice are going to, as you play them, they get removed from the play for the next turn.
That one.
So you have to take an action to reclaim your dice at some point if you run out or if you just want your dice back. But yeah, so if everybody plays high dice, that means it's much more likely it's going to be a low number the next time because you're not going to have, if everybody played their 12-siders, now it's going to, by necessity, be lower.
Yeah, so it helps you move around a little bit. I think having that limitation of the dice is actually kind of nice in this aspect. We won't go through every single space, but basically, essentially, it's affecting the die roll, affecting benefits that you get from the die roll, or about extra worker placement. Like one lets you share a boat, so you could put 2 people on a boat where normally you couldn't.
And one lets you add all your players at once instead of taking rounds, going around the table.
Right, so there are a couple of benefits there. My overall thought while playing this, guys.
She had an allergic reaction to this game. It was pretty phenomenal.
Okay, so I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. I really was. When he first set this up, I was super excited. I liked the quality of components. I thought it was pretty. Like, I was like, ooh, I think I'm going to like this game. It's about collecting fruit. That was not the case. I've been thinking about it because we played this last night and I said I want to review this today. And I've been thinking about as to why I do not like this game. And the only thing I could possibly come up with is, 1, it's boring. B, there's no strategy. It's
Did you just go from 1 to B?
Whatever. A to B, whatever. So there's 2 reasons why I think I really dislike this game. And that is because completely luck-based. Like we had it where there were 3 D12s, the D6, another D12 got added, and yet it ranged low.
Well, I mean, you're dealing with probabilities. When you put the dice in, you basically have to assume the halfway mark on each die, add it up, and figure out where that's going to take you.
Yeah, no, I understand. But who wants to do that in a game?
I didn't mind it. I actually like that aspect of it.
No, listen, it's boring too. Not only that,
I don't disagree with you on that. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm just saying, I don't mind the mechanics of it. I like roulette. If I go to a casino boat, I prefer to play roulette. That's my game.
And I don't. So, I mean...
But as far as it fitting a theme of collecting fruit, and you're only getting 5 fruit, and then the game's over, and you have to get different fruit. You can't have 5 of the same. You can only take 1 of each fruit. But the game being just over after you get 5 fruit, there's nothing to it. That's what I found it to be boring, because there just wasn't any meat to the game. But as far as the actual mechanics, I mean, I thought it was interesting that they put roulette into this game. I just didn't think it had any fit with the fruit. So, I just find this it was very uninteresting. It's not a bad game, I don't think at all. It's very light if you like light games and you like betting games. I'm not a big betting game fan.
Well, that's it. I don't like betting games very much. Literally, guys, I wrote a note to put in the game so I know looks can be deceiving. Do not play this game. It sucks. Miranda. Because we play so many games, I don't remember. And this one would fool me again and again and again because it's so pretty. I would be like, oh, that looks pretty. Let's do this. And then we'd start playing it, and I'd be like, whoever made me play this one again.
It's almost worth $10 just for the pretty dice.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not worth it for the pretty. They did great quality. Yeah. Like, the cards are wonderful. I'm like, well, what can you do with the components?
Yeah. Oh, one thing we didn't mention during quality, though, they put 2 of the 4-sided dice in the box, and the reason why is they misprinted one of the dice. So instead of taking the faulty die out, they put an extra one in. But one of them, if you aren't paying attention, will have 3 of the numbers don't agree on when it plays.
Yeah, but the 1, 2 out of 3, that's the one. But it's pretty funny. I don't know. Like I said, this game.
I just never seen you have such a reaction to a game in my life. I mean, even
listen, guys, I was trying to hold it in the whole time because typically when we find a game we don't like, Randy and Robert both get highly annoyed when we're just negative Nancy about it. Both of us. And I was trying to keep it upbeat, trying to give it a full chance. But let me tell you something. As soon as it was over, I was like, "Good, I don't have to hold it anymore."
Yeah, it was almost like you were holding it in so much that you just exploded at the end.
It's so true. It's so true.
This unleashing of venom about this game, and I was calling friends and laughing about it to tell them I think we made Miranda snap with this game because. And I don't think it was that bad. I mean, I've seen games much worse that I think would have caused a much more of a snappage than this one.
This one, because I was trying to hold it in. I just was so disappointed because I was so excited to play this. You got it out. It looked pretty. The components were great. And then, just no. But we have to give it a score.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to score it at. I think I still, if I were, because of the fact that it's short and it is pretty, I think I'm still above Catan, but I'm probably right at Catan.
There's no way this is better than Catan.
I'm not saying it's better in general, but I don't like Catan as much as you do, unless you get Cities and Knights involved. And when you get Cities and Knights involved, it's a much better game. It's not Catan anymore in my eyes. But base Catan, it's long, and all you're doing is rolling dice, and but this isn't a review of Catan anyway. That's just our baseline.
Listen, listen.
I'm gonna give this a 5.2.
Okay, barely better. Okay,
barely better. It's marginally better, just because it's short and it's pretty dice.
So, I'm thinking about what I should rate it, right? And I'm thinking with how much. This is slightly better than bees. If you put me between this and bees, I will barely choose this. But honestly, I'd probably go on strike and said no.
Well, you were able to contain your venom on this one until after the game was over, at least. Whereas with bees, it was all throughout. Just the look on your face the entire time you played it.
I'm telling you, this was really close to me. I was like, I don't know which one I don't like. I was like, I would barely play this more over bees. And that one, I think I gave a 2.
Yeah.
So I'll give this one a 3. Because and it's not about the quality of pieces. And it's not about the theme. And it's not about the rule book. This just is not for me. Like, the game mechanics.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what to do with these beautiful pieces.
Well, I mean, the one thing is you do have dice that you could use in a campaign for your D&D. I mean, it's worth it just for the dice.
But the cards are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
This could be a lot of fun.
If you made a different game again.
Pretty much. That's what I'm going with.
I didn't hate the game. I thought it was decent. It's not something I'm going to get out for any reason, unless there's just some really big betting fans that don't like to play any kind of strategy game. Because that's really what this is for, is somebody who doesn't really get into gaming.
See, but here's the thing, though. There are bidding games I like better than this, and I do not like bidding games.
Not bidding. This is not bidding. This is betting.
Well, that too.
We haven't played any betting games. I think I like
Camel Up?
Yes, it's not the same thing. But yeah, I'd say Wits and Wagers is probably the only one I can think of in my collection. Well, I've got Tripoli too. But yeah, there's very few betting games in my collection for a reason. Not to mention, there's not that many out there.
That's a good thing too.
Yeah, now that I say that, somebody's going to list off like 100 of them for us, and that's great. I'm sure there are some good ones out there. But this, the mechanic of roulette just didn't fit this theme very well, in my opinion. But if you're like a very light game, this is a good entry level game for getting someone who likes betting. If they like going to play roulette at the casinos, this is a decent option.
How am I the Simon in this review?
You've been that way a lot of times. You guys give me that reputation. I'm not very nice on these things.
No, he's not. I think he just screams it for the camera because we hear it all the time afterwards. Non-stop.
That's just because I look professional in my new polo shirt with the Nerdvana logo. You can get one too, by the way. It's on our website, www.legendsofnerdvana.com/shop. And we have all kinds of great memorabilia out there.
Well, guys, we had fun tonight. Well, tonight I had fun. I had fun doing the review. Last night when I was playing this game, not so much. But we do hope that you'll visit us again. We want to hang out. Bye.
Bye.